We were invited to Florida to witness the shuttle launch by Rudy Whirlink, who was our collaborator on the NASA SEED project. And he told us that we'd come down any time, and we thought coming down for the last shuttle launch would be a really exciting kind of once-in-a-lifetime experience for the students. We had the benefit of both Rudy Whirlink, our collaborator, and Ravi, we call him Dr. Ravi, who is our tour guide, and he's a VIP tour guide at KSC, and I think some of the last people he toured around were Indian consulate members and Margaret Thatcher, so we felt pretty privileged to have him.
The first place we went was the crawler yard. The crawler transports the giant tracked vehicle they've had since Apollo and the Saturn V's. They use that to get the rocket stack and the shuttle out to the pad and just move the mobile launcher platforms around. It was a lot larger in person than pictures. Like, just something I learned in this whole trip is pictures do not do any of this stuff justice on the size. Everything's so much larger when you're in person.
We actually got to go on to the launch pad, so we were able to see something that people normally don't see. And then something even more impossible happened, and we were able to actually go up onto the service structure of Atlantis. So we were able to climb or take the elevator right up next to the space shuttle and actually see the external rocket tank from maybe 50 feet away.
When we went to go see the shuttle launch, we left really early. The shuttle wasn't scheduled to launch till about 11:30, but we left around 6:30 so we could make sure to beat all the traffic. Where most people go to watch it is outside the visitor center. So there were lawn chairs, coolers, blankets, and just people packed in there, and we drove right past them. And when we got to where we were viewing, which is the parking lot outside the vehicle assembly building, it was packed with cars. There were people everywhere. People were dressed up, and it was like a really exciting concert or something. People were absolutely nuts for this.
At T-minus 30 seconds there was a hold, and we were nowhere near any kind of information or loudspeaker, so we didn't know what the nature of the hold was. And at that point, stopping the launch at 30 seconds is usually a very dangerous situation called a pad abort, so I thought something was terribly wrong. And then when 2 minutes later the engines lit and we watched the thing ascend in silence because sound takes so long to get to us 3 miles away, I was just amazed at the intensity of the light and the speed with which the thing just took off. I was just amazed that we had gotten to that point and the shuttle had actually made it off the ground with a 30% chance of decent weather. Yeah, I'd really like to thank both Rudy and Ravi for making this tour possible and for providing us all sorts of opportunities that we'd never expected or could imagine having before we left. I mean, they just gave us a great experience.